Finally this morning, Mitt Romney has just walked away with his third victory during primary season. So, does Newt Gingrich have a future? Danny Yadron joins us from the campaign trail in Denver. Danny, how does Newt Gingrich's camp position itself going forward?
Thanks for having me. They had many meetings last week in Las Vegas, plotting out what is sort of a drawn-out path to extend the primary season and argue that mathematically Newt Gingrich still has a spot. They want to win in southern states, and then pick up enough delegates in rural areas where they don't think Mitt Romney can do as well. A Gingrich aide referred to it as NASCAR country rather than PGA country.
And we've heard talk about Reagan Country, certainly just in Arizona and across the South. Gingrich, just as he did in South Carolina, seems to think he'll be better positioned. But we are in a bit of a dead spot during the primary season now, aren't we?
We are, and that's what really presents a challenge to Newt Gingrich. I mean, he does not have the same money to put himself on TV the way Mitt Romney does, so his campaign has always sort of lived off the land, whether it's free media or whether through debates. I mean, there's not going to be much of that, and he's also not expected to do very well in all of the primaries throughout February. His campaign is instead putting a lot of emphasis on primaries in early, mid-March, even early April in Texas, where by then Speaker Gingrich argues that he can pull even with Mitt Romney. But I mean, that's a pretty big gambit at this point, considering his lack of momentum.
Yeah, now the Speaker has talked about going all the way to the convention. But realistically,
people are salivating potentially at this idea of a convention with two real candidates.
But realistically, is Super Tuesday in early March his last stand, especially as he spends the next 3 weeks talking about that?
And he's not on the ballot in Virginia, let's remember.
Right.
Exactly, which is a very big southern state he was expected to do well in on Super Tuesday. I mean, yes, there are even some of his supporters who say, realistically, it is hard to see how this, keeps going if he doesn't, match the expectations he's setting now for Super Tuesday or for later. Now, this is Newt Gingrich, and he has promised to go all the way to the convention, so we'll see. But it would be hard to see how he continues to raise money, how he continues to get the same press coverage if he is not at least meeting those expectations he's set.
Danny, last thing, tomorrow we have Colorado, Minnesota, Missouri, I believe. Right. What are we expected to see out of those states, and who's is it again Mitt Romney's race to lose?
Very much so, especially here in Colorado. Many of Mitt Romney's senior political aides have deep ties to the state. They've been building a huge infrastructure here, not even so much for tomorrow, but under the assumption they'll be competing in November in what is a very big, very important swing state. And then if you look at public opinion polls, Newt Gingrich is polling third here in Minnesota, or here in Colorado, in Minnesota. And many are actually expecting another Rick Santorum surprise, second place.
I love the alliteration there, the Santorum surprise. But yeah, an uphill battle for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And for Gingrich too at this point. Danny Yadron from Denver. Danny, thanks.